Good morning, here we are in Oakwood, the first park on our trip here to the UK. We're here spending 15 days in the UK to do a lot, but really way too much theme parks. Anyway, we're going to explore this first park today and we're going to check out what is the best roller coaster of Oakwood, and in the next many videos we're going to check out what is the best UK roller coaster, and today we're starting with Oakwood. Let's go. During a 2-week trip, I finally got to explore the biggest parks and roller coasters in the UK, and in this series I'm focusing on one thing: what is the UK's best roller coaster? In today's episode we're checking out the coasters at Oakwood Theme Park. Alright, we entered the park and there's literally almost nobody here. Matthias is of course here. Hi Matthias. And we're here already at the first ride, which is closed. Boo! This is drenched water ride, but yeah, it's closed, so we're not able to do this one. So let's get to something else. Such a pity, by the way, because this looks so cool. I remember this ride from Roller Coaster Tycoon, actually. The cool drop here, very steep one, but unfortunately it's not open. So yeah, great start for this day. Let's hope more rides will be open, but we'll see. Alright, so we're going straight for the back of the park because the rides are only opening at 10:30, so in half an hour. So we still have half an hour to walk there. At first sight it looks very green in the park, a lot of nature. I don't see a lot of rides at first sight, but I guess at the back of the park there will be a lot more to see. Here we already have a sky, how is it called? Sky? Yeah, sky swing thing, I don't know. There's also some kind of bobsled thing here. But we're going straight for the back of the park because I think Speed is located there and Megafobia I think also. So we're going to look for, what the hell is this? Shooting range? In a theme park? Okay. That is strange. Anyway, let's look for the first coaster. Alright, change of plans. We're going back to the beginning of the park because the back of the park is just closed off entirely until 10:30, which is a bit stupid in my opinion. Anyway, the bobsled apparently is open already, and maybe the creepy crawler there, which is a kiddie, a family coaster, I believe. It's not a kiddie coaster, it's a family coaster. Welcome to Spooky Street. Ooh, we have the first ghost here already. Anyway, first roller coaster. Hopefully it's open. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it's open. The creepy crawler. It doesn't look very creepy, but anyway, let's see. It looks, this whole area is about ghosts and spooky things. Spooky music. There is a haunted pizzeria, a witch's brew, witch hunt, and no working rides. I'm wondering actually why the park is open at 10, because literally nothing here at the beginning of the park is open. At the back of the park you cannot even walk around yet. Very strange. Anyway, relaxing morning. So we're literally just walking here, looking at the rides being tested. Anyway, but the bobsled ride is open apparently. So since that's probably the only ride open at this moment, we're going to have a look at that. And then hopefully some other rides afterwards. Bobsled coaster done, not really that spectacular. Anyway, let's wait for Megaphobia, the first coaster here, a wooden coaster, apparently pretty good one, but let's see. Alright, first coaster of this trip and first coaster of Oakwood is done, Megafobia. It's a fun wooden coaster, it's not the best I've done. Doesn't have a lot of airtime moments in my opinion, but the first drop is really fun. And you can definitely feel which pieces of the track are retracked, which are not. But overall a very, very fun roller coaster. I enjoyed this first one here. But at this moment, of course, obviously, at the first spot, because we only did... Sorry for the noise. Because we only did one ride, obviously. But now let's see how the other coasters rank here compared to Megaphobia. And I see a very interesting one already there, which is Speed, a Eurofighter coaster. It's a bit the same as a Typhoon Mobianen, but a very big model. It's also a, I think it's a custom model. But anyway, it doesn't matter, we're going to do this one. Apparently it has a very good first drop and a speed hill afterwards with a lot of airtime. So let's see if it's actually a really good one or not. Now, I'm not a really big fan of Eurofighters because they're not really the best coasters in my opinion. Typhoon, for example, really rattly, really bad. But let's see, this one is maybe a good Eurofighter. So let's do Speed, No Limits. Right, Speed, No Limits, strange Eurofighter coaster. It's a very fun layout, but it's so rattly and so bumpy the whole ride. The first drop is cool, the hill afterwards is a lot of fun with so much airtime, but the rest is so bumpy and so rattly. It's really, you really have to brace yourself if you want to ride this one. It's very, very bumpy. Anyway, not the best, not the smoothest Eurofighter I've done. I was even wondering if it's actually better or worse than a Typhoon. I'm not sure where to put this, but anyway, Matthias, did we like Speed more than Megaphobia or not? No. No? Okay, so at this moment, Megaphobia first spot, second spot, Speed. And now we're going to do Treetops. And Treetops also done, a standard Zierig Tivoli coaster. Very rattly, very unsmooth in my opinion. I really don't like the trains of these standard Zierig coasters. I really don't like these ones. So at this moment at the third spot, so we have at one Megaphobia here still, which is the best coaster in the park so far. Then at the second place we have Speed, which is, I don't see it at the moment. Anyway, there it is in the back. And then at the third spot, Treetops, the Zierig Tivoli coaster. Now we're off to the fourth coaster of the park, but I don't think they will be as good as Megaphobia and Speed, because they're like family coasters and a kiddie coaster. But anyway, let's see how the creepy crawler is going to be if it's open. Okay, we're back here at the creepy crawler, but I don't see any movement here. So I'm not sure if it's actually open. Where is the entrance actually? So this should be the entrance of the coaster. Nothing seems to be closed, but there's no movement, so let's see. ride, we did the creepy crawler. Not for the ride at all. It's a very painful experience, especially if you're a bit taller, because the shoulder restraints on your shoulders are pretty painful. It's very weird also to have like shoulder restraints on a family coaster, because this doesn't have any inversions. It's not fast at all. Very strange. I'm also not sure what the manufacturer is. I think it's Pinfari, not sure exactly. But anyway, definitely not the best coaster in the park, and at this moment, in my opinion, on the last place here. So anyway, let's get to the last ride. It's I think almost 12, and we almost did all the roller coasters. There's literally almost nobody in this park. It's a Sunday. It's the last day, I think, of the school holidays, but it seems people are not interested in theme parks anymore on this last day of the holiday. I don't know, very strange, because the weather is not too bad, it's not too cold, but yeah, better for us, I guess. Let's get to something else. I guess the next ride will be in this London themed area kind of thing. I think it's going to be a kiddie coaster, the Crocodile Coaster. Not sure if we're even allowed to ride it, but let's see. Wow. Not sure what this is, the Gate of London, I don't know. It's not London, it's what? Neverland?
Neverland.
Neverland, it's Neverland. We're in Neverland. What is this, Peter Pan or what? It's Peter Pan area? I don't know. I guess so. That's the ship of Captain Hook, I guess. Anyway, in this little kids area here, we have a little swinging ship ride. We have this truck ride, which goes really fast. Anyway, and that's basically it. I'm not sure where the kiddie coaster is. I thought it was somewhere here, but apparently it's not. Here is the Crocodile Coaster. I'm not sure if we're allowed to ride it. And with that, we did the last coaster of the day, the Crocodile Coaster. As you can see, what a spectacular ride is this. No. We were kind of ashamed to be riding this one, but anyway, we did it. It seems to be like a powered coaster. I was not aware of that, but it's a very strange thing. Also, the trains are very wobbly. But anyway, fun for kids. It doesn't go fast at all. It's definitely not an adult coaster or a thrill coaster or anything. So I think we can safely say that this one is at the last spot of all the coasters here in the park. Now let's enjoy some other rides in the park, like for example the Log Flume. And that was our day here at Oakwood Theme Park here in Wales. Did I enjoy it? I'm not really sure about it. It's very clear that this park is part of Astro Parks, which also has parks like Baudouin Sea Park in Belgium, or I believe Walligator in France. Those parks have the same kind of vibe. Maintenance really bad. Operations not the best. The park is also quite dead. There's not a lot of people here. The rides are very mediocre, not really that great. But anyway, the coasters we did. So we did 5 coasters. Final ranking of today. At the first spot, Megafobia. We did a few more rewrites on it, by the way. The front row is way better than the back row. Way better, but still it's a very enjoyable ride, but not the best wooden coaster I've done so far, not at all. Anyway, second place, Speed. The first drop and the airtime hill following the first drop is really amazing. The rest of the ride is so crappy, so bumpy, so shaky. It's not smooth at all. It's like Typhoon, but even 10 times worse. It's really, my god. The maintenance on this ride, I'm not sure if it's really that great. Anyway, third spot we have Treetops, the Zurich coaster. I'm not a big fan of Zurich Tivoli coasters, so third place. Fourth place is Creepy Crawler, a very weird spin-fire coaster with not a lot of forces and such. And on the fifth place we have just a kiddie coaster, which is Crocodile Coaster. As you saw on the video, just a stupid kiddie coaster. So we did 5 coasters now in the UK. At this moment, after visiting one park only, Megafobia is at the #1 spot of being the best coaster in the UK. But of course, we have a lot more other parks planned here in the UK. So let's see how this ranking is going to change, because tomorrow we're visiting Flamingo Land. But that's for another video. See ya!